Hello, dear CX listener. Short video for you again today. Following the theme of stop researching, start acting. Actually, customer experience scores shouldn't generate reports and dashboards. They should generate workflows and change and actions. And the reason that I'm concerned about this in particular is because, let's fess up, the majority of CX professionals finish a survey wave or some sort of customer feedback gathering exercise, and then the first instinct is, how do I report this to my business? How do I get this in front of CX leadership to encourage sponsorship, drive top-down change, get the backing of my board, so on and so forth? Just stop right there. This habit has formed over years because of our natural respect for lines of authority through a business. So it is our first response that we feel that because this is important, go straight to them with this information. And how can we best do that? Well, leadership speak in the language of PowerPoint decks. So let's generate PowerPoint decks. Somewhat bizarrely, given the fact that you've just paid an awful lot of money probably for some CX platform, and now you want to just convert that into a PowerPoint. You know, if you're going to report to leadership, just take your laptop in and show them results on the dashboard. Anyway, that's a different topic. What I want to try to do is to get you to reframe your mindset away from to get leadership to react to the scores. I want you to not think that way. What I want you to think is, who owns the response? They are my first principal and probably your only stakeholder that's actually ever going to make a difference to then subsequent experiences that the customer then has. Who owns that relationship? Anything else at that point is just creating a summary of the pain, possibly, if you've got lots of detractors or lots of people leaving you negative feedback or whatever. I'm not being negative, I'm just saying in reality, you're just summarizing pain and taking it to the leadership. What the hell are they supposed to do then if you're just taking information in and saying, here's scores, here's numbers? Have a think about it this way. If you identify the owner and just go work with them straight away on change, would it not then be way more effective to eventually, when you get that slot at leadership presentation, to take in the fact that you've already orchestrated a reaction to that feedback within the business, and you're already seeing positive impact, and you're already seeing change? If I was sitting on the leadership table, that would be like manna from heaven. If someone walked into the room and said, you know what, we've identified problems, we've actually already gone away and done something about it, we didn't need you. You know, we're big and ugly enough, we can take care of ourselves. We're in our jobs because we know what we're doing, and we've gone and done it already. And here's some of the impact that we're seeing on that. As a leadership team member, I would say that is how we manage things in our business. That's how we manage customer relationships. I don't want you walking through the door just bombarding me with problems and then asking me for money, resource, sponsorship. You've got all of that anyway. You're entrusted. You're in the CX management role because you already have that responsibility. I don't need you coming in seeking yet more confirmation that our customer scores are bum here, they're lousy here, there are problems here, and we need to do things to fix it. I'm not now going to run and tell a whole bunch of people go fix those problems. They should already know. Why are we paying a couple $1 million for a CX platform if they don't have purview to that information? Why would I need you to come in here and tell me that in the form of a PowerPoint? So I'm sorry, folks, I'm being a little bit direct, as I like to be here on these types of topics. But why operate that way? Perhaps another way of thinking about this is, if you just walk into a board meeting with a PowerPoint deck based off the results that you've seen, you're just providing a history lesson. That's not actually a change plan. Yes, you might have a final slide in there or something which says, and here are the things we now need to go and do. But as a board team member, I'm going to be sitting there thinking, well, how do I get visibility on whether this is now happening? Here's another thing that maybe you could think about. And perhaps this isn't even a metric that you have or you track. Since we're in the business, especially in B2B CX management, of account experience management, would it not be better to track the action rate? i.e. the rate at which how quickly you are closing loops on customer feedback and then acting on it, and then showing a consequence of acting on it. You know, you can start tracking reaction or action rates based on customer feedback coming in as a measure that you can evidence as the success of your customer experience management program to that very same leadership team. This fits in really nicely with what I'll talk about in the next video, which is around how to identify at-risk accounts without just simply using CX dashboard information. So we'll get to that one next time.